Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about one of the biggest controversial things that's still going on with my car that I kind of want to put an end to, or at least give you guys my opinion on it. So, what I'm talking about is putting radials on my probably high 600 horsepower manual Camaro, which one that says, oh, if you're drag racing it a lot, that screams bias ply, which I've had bias plies on the car. I've been up to a quarter of a second slower just in the 60 foot, and overall about 8/10 slower than I have running radials on this car. And maybe it's because I wasn't hitting the tire hard enough, thinking I still needed to slip it like I did with the radials. But just something about it I didn't like. I didn't like the stability that I didn't have down track that I do have with the radials. One of the biggest things for me is if I'm going that fast, I want to have it feel planted. I don't want to have to give it any sort of turn just to keep it straight. I'm not about that. I like safety. I like, feeling comfortable going that speed, and the easiest way to obtain that for me is with radials. And honestly, after the launch, to me, I feel like the radial is overall a better tire. It doesn't really shake in between shifts. It still keeps the tire very planted. I have the adjustable shocks in the rear that really should help with that too. But yeah, I've tried them. I've really wanted to make them work, and I've not been able to make them work, which unfortunately that's what happens sometimes. But I'm just comfortable with the radial. I know how to launch with them. I've had a lot more time with them though too. Not saying that if you gave me a set of like Hoosier QTPs that my friend Bryce keeps talking about, that my car wouldn't go faster, because it's actually probably a better tire that fits this car, because it's heavy, it's a manual, everything screams bias ply, but I'm just not for it. And I don't know what it is. Even at that point, I like the 26-inch tire on it too. I actually heard that the 26 is actually taking the gearing to an advantage, versus the 28 actually going down in gearing would actually make it have better average power, which I see both ways. But my thought, at least, you could tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, is if you have the 26, you're going through the gear faster, which means you are accelerating faster. Now, at the same time, the 28 might actually be a better tire because it actually uses the power, not just the torque. I don't know. I will be trying a 28-inch tire some point this year. Probably not until after beginning of July, after my second drag and drive. But yeah, you could tell me if I'm wrong. I really feel like the 26 overall, if you can hook on a 26, you will overall be faster. And I firmly stand by that. I really don't think the 28-inch tire would be great unless I'm making enough power that overpowers the tire from the launch. But I don't yet. Maybe if, things change. I mean, obviously this car doesn't even act the same as it did last year, and this is a big help too. But really, overall, I don't think I'm going to have that issue. Obviously, I could just slip the clutch a little more. As long as I stay in the 1.4, 1.5 range, I should be right on the cusp of a 9. And if that doesn't happen, we'll make measures again after the first week of July to make that happen. But I'm not downing the car. That's one thing I did last year that I kind of regret. Other than that, I've been taking this car to my baseball practice. I've been taking it to date night. I've driven it every single day that I possibly could so far. I'm in love with it again. It's honestly so much better than even what I could have imagined last year. On to the other part of why I kind of stick with radials. I am a bit frugal. As you see, it doesn't really look like it. The only thing I spend money on is that. Honestly. If I didn't have that, I don't know how miserable I would be, honestly. As much headaches as it does give me, that still is one of the highlights of everything that I stand for. So, anyways, one of the reasons why I love sticking with the radial too is because I do have these, the front runner Mickey Thompson radials that are honestly pretty heavy for what they are. And I don't care to spend so much money changing tires all the time. I could get another set of rims. I could do a lot of things. But I know what works. And if I can work on me knowing what I know works for me, it's great. So overall, I think what I have is going to be the setup that I run for my first testings, my Mickey Thompson turn and burn, unless they have an amazing deal on tires that I can test. Buckeye skips, all three of those I'm going to be using that exact setup. And if things go south and I haven't ran a 9 yet, if I'm close, say I come out and I do like a 10.3, 10.4 and I can't do any faster than that, well, obviously I'm not going to just change the tire and miraculously go a 9. So I'm just going to read what the universe, the cards have dealt me, and go from there. But it would be interesting to see if the more usable power and staying in the gear longer would actually be more useful than just accelerating through the gear. I'd love to spark a debate with you guys in the comments about how the tire situation for you guys are working, manual or auto, and what you guys find best. It's been kind of hard not to try and jump ship and try some Hoosiers because they have a tire for anything. Like my friend like praises the QTPs, which I agree with. I think for what his car does, it's a pretty crazy tire. I wouldn't mind going a 10th or 2 slower if I could be consistent. I think that's the biggest gripe I have with these 26s is I'm out of 4 or 5 passes a night, I might only get one that's good. And that's what I kind of was running into in the end of last season, but I also ran into that because I couldn't hit second. So there's that. But now that the shifter's fixed, I can focus mainly on hitting the tire properly, which I think last year I was more like get through the launch and just hit second or try and hit second. And now that that's not a worry, I should be able to hit second very easily so I can more focus on my launch, which might show that there's a weakness there. And I switched to 28s, switched to Hoosiers. I just don't want to change my front tires, which is kind of a issue because bias ply front goes with bias ply rear. I know M&H makes a tire that is like stupid light, but it's a 28. I don't really want to run 28-inch front runners because, you know, more rolling resistance and everything like that. I don't know. Let me guys know what wheel and tire setup you guys run on your Camaro, especially if they're, 9-10 second range. It'd be interesting to see. I know auto guys are running freaking 8s on this 305 45 17. They didn't even downsize to the 15. I envy you guys. I'd really like to almost have this car be an automatic sometimes, but that's for later. You'll see an automatic on this channel eventually, so I can show you guys what I can actually do. So for the next few weeks, my content's probably going to be just sit down talking videos like this, unfortunately, unless, something miraculously breaks on the Subaru or this car. I would really like to say that I could still be doing something with the car, but in my opinion, I'd rather leave it as is and just ready to go drag race. I don't really know what I would do anyways. I'd kind of force myself to find something to do, which isn't very fun. So April 9th, if I say everything's good on that Thursday video, April 11th, I'm going drag racing. Then April 14th, you'll see that video, unless I get it out sooner if I'm really excited about it. But until then, it'll probably just be a lot of me talking about this car and things that I've done and some of the stuff I've already done, considering it's been a very slow season or something. I'll find something. But thank you guys for watching. We're getting really close to the drag strips opening up near me. I was honestly looking around, willing to travel like pretty far, but it looks like April 11th at Dragway 42 is the closest. So just bear with me for another few weeks and then we can go out and see what this car can do. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.